Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the PCN podcast. Mixing it up a little bit today. A little bit of a raw and uncut special for y'all. We're trying to experiment and see where it goes. We got a cast of AJ, Jeepers, Lego, Rio, and Vital, and we're just here to chat and see where it takes us.
Yeah, here to chat, man. Anybody got any ideas on the first subject?
AJ's back from the dead.
AJ is back from the dead. I'd like to say that I'm happy to be back. I was buried underground for quite a long while.
How was rehab?
It wasn't bad. I kept having flashbacks of Traitors and Judas and Benedict Arnolds, but once I got over that, I was good to go. Our team has done better because of it. We're not going to make the playoffs. I wish we would have, but I wish everybody ahead of us in Division One very, 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 very good luck. What are the questions?
I think it's hard to gloss over the fact that you, as a Napoli player, just had the most important week of your season in that you dispatched Minnesota United and Tottenham. And I want to say for Tottenham, your very special friend Jeepers here.
Yes, sir.
Very, very, very big hand to play.
Yes, sir. Yes, he did.
Jeepers, do you by chance recall how many saves you made that game?
I had 13 saves. I mean,
world-class display.
I mean, who's counting? But I mean, I'm pretty sure it was 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 13.
Absolute brick
but
wall.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I got to give it up to my defense because they made my day. They made me look good. The defense locked it down, and they forced long shots. And I mean, Brazilian, you're a goalkeeper. You got to love saving those long shots because that just makes your day easy.
Absolutely.
But not to say that. I mean, Tottenham definitely had some good shots. On me, but I mean, my defense they set it up for me. They made it a good day for me. I appreciate
and
it.
That also plays off the fact that you have A. Voles, who's now made his, I believe, third straight team of the week. He's been one of your biggest mainstay players in your team. Tell me a little about that fella.
Voles, I'm gonna come out here and say it. A. Voles is the best player in PCN. You can put that guy anywhere, and he will be the best guy on the team. That guy was the best pickup that we ever had on Napoli.
Okay. This is what I understand. You guys beat the top two teams, but can we stop sucking Napoli's dick here for 2 seconds?
Let's stop and let's come up for breath. What do you got to say?
Jeepers, I got a question for you. So you have ran away with the Golden Glove, like no competition. So for you, just hoorahing about your defense here, they giving up a lot of shots for you to save here. So let's not talk about your defense as the greatest.
Well, honestly, it wasn't so much that we gave up a lot of shots. It was just a lot of we had a lot of bad turnovers at bad times, which is why I had a lot of save opportunities. And it wasn't that they were breaking through the defense, left and right. It was just occasionally there'd be turnovers here and there, and it provides save opportunities for me. And granted, I didn't
capitalize.
I gave up a lot of goals. Be the first to admit I gave up a lot of goals that should have been saves, but the defense is. I mean, I'm not going to throw my defense under the bus. My defense had a great year.
Just to give you a perspective of things, Jeepers in 28 games has 161 saves. The next closest person is Pure Vegetable, 22 games and 90 saves.
Let that sink in for a moment, folks. Come on, let's have a moment of silence.
For that Napoli defense.
God, is it beautiful.
That's nice. While I'm in the middle of pointing out the flaws here of Napoli, AJ likes to say that they've been doing better since their former co-manager Smoke.
I haven't said that. Stats have said that.
He actually did say that.
That's what the stats say.
Here's the part.
I'd just like to quickly announce the newest arrivals, Fencing Guy and Vape. They kind of showed up late, but they're now here.
I was just invited like 2 minutes ago by Rio.
Good. Congratulations, you two. Shut the hell up. Continue your thing.
But
AJ, don't we come over there in case
AJ, the part that you want to floss over, Mr. AJ, is the smoke break. While leaving, you guys might have done better, but he has done better himself, and he has scored 15 goals in 10 games in the Super League since joining Inter Milan.
Yes,
so what was it that you guys was doing that was holding this man back?
Well, are you going to allow me to answer that question?
He's no longer playing the clamp gods at our Santos.
Are you going to allow me to explain that completely? Because I happily will.
Go ahead.
This is why. At the beginning of Napoli's season, before this season, I did not want to be a manager. Smoke said he wanted to be a manager. I said, go ahead and take it over. I'll be your co-manager. Even though technically I was a manager, he really was a manager. And there was a certain point in time that I said, hey, let me give this over to you. He said, no, I don't want that. So I do not have any kind of sympathy for somebody that put a team around him that he had complete autonomy over, and that team didn't work for him. That sucks. That's too bad. But by no means am I going to take responsibility, and neither is Napoli, for the fact that we followed his lead and it led us down the wrath of the Canadian fucking rabbit hole. No.
Whoa, racism!
What? The Canadian rabbit hole? They exist. They exist. Just like the moose, just like poutine.
Vital, cut this from the podcast.
Yeah, and I'll cut this. 11 too. Huh?
I'm not editing anything.
Yeah, man, shit, man. What are you talking about? What? That's the way it was. And all I can say is that since he has left, our win percentage has improved. Look at it however you may.
Just to put things in perspective, though, you had something to say about loyalty.
Yes, I did.
So can you explore more upon that particular aspect of what you meant by that comment?
I believe our forefathers and your parents and your best friends always said loyalty is number one. All right? Don't turn your back and don't snitch and don't quit. I'm afraid I can't say that about my man Smoke. I've actually been ridiculed on this very podcast for sticking up for Smoke too much. So to have someone that leaves, yes, I will say he is the number one Benedict Arnold. Yes, he is Judas. I'm glad he's in a happier place. We're still friends to this day. But loyalty and communication are the number one and number two most important things on a team.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here about something. Vital, you're the last person to bring up loyalty here. How many contracts have you bought out this season?
I plead the fifth.
There we go. Can't ask him no more. We got to take it up.
Yikes.
This is constitutional right.
Well, to be fair, buying out contracts might have put me in the position that I'm in today. Just might have. However, I don't think there's a lot of players left from me buying out contracts, but yes.
Buy out everyone in Minnesota before game time.
There's no shame in that, though. There ain't no shame in picking up what's out there. If I see a fucking beautiful watermelon on the side of the road and I'm starving, I believe I'd pick that watermelon up and take it home.
You can't say that.
Why can't I say watermelon? Was that racist? Okay, if I see an orange...
You're insinuating that it is.
No, you are. You said it. I didn't say that. Okay, you get nice.
Let's talk. Hold on. Shut the fuck up, all of you. Rio, talk to us about Super League because I can already see the Discord fucking bitching about us talking about D1. So let's talk a little bit about Super League.
Yeah, let's appease those bitches.
Should do it too and talk about Man United because that's all Magic wants to do nowadays.
Do I see Magic in here? No, I don't.
I mean,
anyway,
what's up with River Plate, man?
Okay, let's talk about River Plate here for a second. Actually, not a second, more like a 10-minute rant here.
Okay.
So,
like, what's up with you guys and choking? It seems to be a habit.
No,
like last season you guys choked, and now that lead just kind of disappeared. Now you got 4 points.
They did disappear.
So what's funny about us choking
I can already see the bitching at Lego because he doesn't even play anymore.
What's funny about us choking is that we should have been in second and third place, but Man City in second place just wants to choke just as much as us and refuses to take the lead. They want to lose to New York City and Young Boys 3-1 every game. So they should have been in first, but I digress on that. The problem at River Plate is just when we start losing the games, everything just gets so toxic, and people just don't. It kills the vibe immediately. Like just going down 1-0, just going down 1-0.
It's bad management. It's bad management.
Oh, all right, hold up. Excuse, what the fuck? Okay. Going down 1-0, just you would think it doesn't like kill a team, but for majority of the times, it's just there's no comeback from that. Like when we win, we're up the whole time. If we go down, there's like almost never a comeback.
So you guys are easy to scout.
AJ, you can't talk shit. We beat your ass twice in a row, Cove.
You may have, but doesn't remain the fact that anybody listening with a logical or half-working brain will say that if we get up on them, we have a very good chance of beating them. Now, would you disagree or agree with that?
I'll agree with that, but we're 30 games into a 38-game season here. If they ain't figured that out yet, then that's a problem.
Then that's on them. I hear you there.
In second place, we have Man City, who are the second biggest chokers in the league because they want to lose to every bottom tier team in the league that isn't Orlando Pirates. Rest in peace, J-Way.
Moment of silence.
Some say he's out there golfing. Yeah. Drunk out of his mind.
That's what I heard.
Sales boss.
Yeah.
In third place, we have apparently the most controversial team in the league in Man United.
Hi, Magic.
Fencing guy, you're on Man United. Do you want to talk about your team?
Wait, can they hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, I was having
first-time caller, long-time listener.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. I haven't played in like a month, so all I know is that we haven't lost since I got benched. So we're about to
except for in the cup.
Except for in that cup, but I didn't play in that either, so it's not my fault.
Yes.
So what you're saying is you was the reason.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I was definitely the reason we were losing the whole entire 2 league games that we lost.
That's a lot of games right there.
That could cost you the title right there.
Just ask how I've ever played from last season.
It's impressive.
In the fourth place, we have the good old Bayer Leverkusen, parked the bus themselves.
God, wait, I thought we were talking about Leverkusen, not Milan.
I thought we were talking about Inter. All right.
Excuse me, is this shade thrown at Inter Milan by AJ?
No, I'm just saying you want to talk about possession, never taking a risk, and always living behind a closed door. I mean, you put the rest of the words together. What do I know?
They've been opening the doors ever since Smoke Break got there, but that's besides the point.
Right. As he went AFK and lagged out of 2 games, ended up with 4 goals. Yeah, I heard about that.
In fifth place, we have the good old Juve, slowly climbing up the table, and then they slowly go back down. So this is kind of where they're headed this season. In sixth place, Atlanta United. Anybody remember when they was in second place?
I was just about to say that.
I remember when they won the MLS Cup. Yeah, yeet.
What happened?
Shout out to anybody that watches the MLS and that watches this podcast.
Shut your.
I feel bad for them.
Fuck you.
In seventh place, we have the Inter Milan that we was just talking about, who, ever since they acquired Smoke Break, if my stats are correct, haven't lost a game.
Yeah, I think that's right.
That's wonderful.
I believe a certain Smoke Break might have actually scored 5 goals in was it against River Plate?
It was Leon.
It was Leon.
Leon.
Peace,
okay.
My boy Leak.
Shout out my boy Girk Daddy.
Shout out PCN Newcastle. I see you, Leak. In eighth place, we have Arsenal, who are the Manchester United back of the early 2000s because they haven't lost a game in a long time, but all they do is win 1-0.
Dang. That's almost like, I don't know. At least you're grinding out results, but, probably don't make the fans jump much.
Oh boy, 1-0.
Hashtag Wenger in.
Boy, 1-0.
Ninth place, we have Schalke, who everybody was thinking was going to be a dark horse this season because they have well-known strikers. But they're just the middle of the pack team in the Super League. 10th place, Lyon, Lego, your old friends. About the same place she was last season.
Father, and I respect him greatly. Sadly, Lyon is only a mid-table team.
Lyon has taken PSG's name of the definition of average.
And shat on it.
Dang, I really coined a term, didn't I? That's been used a lot since. I'm just gonna stroke my own ego real quick.
Yeah, you do that enough, but
he's trying his best to be like me.
11th place, we got Roma. 12th, we got PSG. Again, average. 13th, NYC. 14th place, Benfica. Oh, how the blanket is falling.
Remember when they were second? I do.
You remember when you had good players beat on? You remember when you had good players? Yeah, you probably don't.
I think you can actually qualify that as. Do you remember when you had players?
When you have just players, and when you have
players in general,
beat on done fuck that thing up.
I would like to point out that ever since they switched managers, they have acquired one win in that time, and that was a 4-3 win over Roma almost a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they haven't scored a goal since like November 28th.
You lose team of the season, guys. That's what's going to happen. Louis, Poseidon. Who's the other one?
Patty.
That's going to happen.
In 15th place, we have Bayern Munich, who's climbed out of relegation finally.
Hey, the old boys.
It looked so good last year.
Shout out to the Dagger. Shout out to Dagger Dicks. In 16th place, another team that climbed out of relegation, Lazio. Looks like Online Ace is going to stay right at the bottom of avoiding relegation again. 17th place, Young Boys. They're a point above relegation, but they keep beating big teams, so who knows? And then we get to the depressing part. 18th and 19th, Liverpool and Chelsea.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Liverpool and Chelsea both can get out of relegation, but a lot of things have to happen for that. A team that is guaranteed relegation, sadly, the Orlando Pirates. Rest in peace, J-Way again.
Any other PCN team gone from first to last over the course of one season?
Not to my knowledge. Orlando Pirates have 3 wins on the entire season, so it's been a tough year for them. Let's see what they can do in League One next season.
Brazilian, speaking of League One,
yeah,
you want to talk about League One?
Take it off, Brazilian.
Well, Minnesota United sit, I would say, comfortably in first, but it's literally just a 3-goal difference. It's a lot tighter than I honestly thought it would have been. Tottenham and Minnesota joint first on 67 points, 54 to 51 on goal difference. I've been praising Atletico all season as far as their defense is concerned.
Way to go, Vital.
Especially their consistency. You know, knocking yourself up into third place, 4 points ahead of fourth. Y'all really killing it up there.
I would say this about Atletico. I would say this. Minnesota and Tottenham are filled with well-known players that's been in this league. I can only name you about 2 people on Atletico. So it's not this super stacked roster. So
that's right.
Whoa, Vital, you gonna take that?
Yep.
No, I actually like that.
That's the truth, man.
Yeah, that's got some underdog glory right there.
I tried to get big names. I really tried, like buying out contracts, whatever the hell I had to do. Of course, once I took the team over from Ray de Reyes, the one
Rest
and
in
only.
peace.
Rip.
I think he's the only player to get relegated twice in 2 seasons.
Rip.
Knock on wood. Let's hope it happens. But I've basically every single time I approach a big player and get to hear shit like, I remember one particular person told me to sign for Atletico would be to end his PCN career, quote unquote.
That was
Wait,
God
who was
damn,
that?
man.
Who was that?
I'm not gonna
Is that
say,
a name?
I'm not gonna name him.
it was me. I'm
No,
sorry, guys.
name him. Unedited, uncut, raw. Call him out right now.
But
It was me, guys.
he's trying to take credit now. No, but I get to hear shit like that all the time.
Yeah, same here, man.
Shut the fuck up. But I mean,
We have squid and goats. That tells you how good our recruitment system is.
But it's hard. I'll be honest with you. Like, coming from, I mean, I tell people all the time. If you look at Minnesota manager, if you look at Tottenham's manager and AC Milan's manager, pretty well known guys who've been in PCN for a while. It's only my second season, and people don't know me, and they don't expect me to put up a good team and basically get run over. So to be in third position, it's kind of disappointing.
No, you're right there, man.
Basically, it made rookie mistakes as a manager at the beginning of the season and got carried away by some of the decisions. Otherwise, might have been higher, but got a really nice team, and I wouldn't trade them for anyone else. They're just a really good squad, and like what Rio was saying, you go 1-0 down, and you have big names who can't come back up, and none of my guys are like that. We've come back from 1-2-0 quite a few times in the season, and it's always a good feeling. And at the end of the day, I mean, even after 7 losses, I don't think I've ever had a fallout between players. They're all just like, all right, I looked at the clip, but there's 7-8 people trying to give their insights. So all in all, not having big name players is sort of working out for me, because it's just given me good guys who want to improve, and they don't mind taking criticism.
And you're right there too, Vital.
No, I'm
Hey,
not
can
worried.
I chime in on that also? The benefit of that is, you're building the league. You're building the PCN name. When you got no name players, you're pulling people out of nowhere, like myself. I mean, this is only my second season. It's something to be said about playing with a bunch of no name guys that are new to the league, and every person that you add to the league, you're just building the league. You're building the name. You're building the brand, and it makes it more fun. It makes it more competitive, and it just makes it more exciting for everybody.
But
I think recently
That's
someone
right.
told
That's
me we
right.
had over 3,000 members on the site now.
3,500.
Question for you, Vital.
Go ahead, Rio.
Is that so? King Smurf is currently leading League One in goals scored.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your striker Messi is in second, 2 goals behind him. Now, will you or will you not force feed him the ball tomorrow?
We've tried
It's a
to.
valid question.
We really have tried to force feed Messi the balls and try to get him to score, but the type of player that he is, he's a very unselfish player. So if he has that extra pass, he doesn't care about getting the golden boot. He's just one of those. So as much as we want to support him, he cares more about the team. So tomorrow we play 2 good teams. I mean, I'm not going to talk down to Barcelona or Napoli, considering the fact that they just beat Tottenham and Minnesota.
No, go ahead.
Thank you.
Speak freely.
But
Thank you, man.
So,
I mean-
so who's going? Okay, speaking as a Napoli goalkeeper here, who is it that's going to be trying to get the golden boot? Because I gotta keep an eye out for a name to look out for.
Writing down film notes furiously.
It's gonna be AJ, your left back. He's the one.
You know what?
All right, you're funny. I've never seen AJ even put a shot on target.
I swear to God, every single one of you motherfuckers.
Whoa.
I don't shoot. All right.
Yeah, because you'll miss.
Yeah. Sure.
Same.
Get on to the next subject.
Well,
next subject.
moving on down the table, we got AC Milan in 4th. They're sitting on
Shut the hell up,
53
Chief.
points. followed by Barcelona in 5th, who have kind of quietly crept up the table a little bit. I remember they didn't start as hot as they wanted to, but to move up into this 5th place spot it's been a good turnaround for them, as well with Real Madrid now sitting in 6th on 45. And from there, the table, after 8th, the table starts to really fall away. But 7th is Dortmund on 42, and 8th is Galatasaray also on 42. And then there's Napoli.
Yeah, we're out. We're out, baby boy.
Oh, yeah, nothing else on that. Move on.
So
37 points, 9th place. Monaco in 10th with 36. The precious, iconic FC Santos in 11th with 30th.
Rest in peace.
12th place, Club America with 29 points. 13th, RB Leipzig with 28th. And 14th, PSV Eindhoven with 27. And 15th, Ajax with 19.
I normally don't behave like this in the podcast, but they called me in last second, and I was just fucking around playing 2K. So now they got me.
Yeah, whatever. You're doing great, bud.
And FC Porto in last with a whopping 2.
You vape.
I did that on purpose, fuckers.
Right.
So what do we want to talk about in terms of League One?
Can we talk? Does anybody remember when Ajax went to the semifinals in the preseason tournament and everybody thought they was going to be a good team?
I do.
They started off good. I think they had like 15 or 16 points after the first couple of matches.
Yeah.
And then after that, I don't think they've picked up much.
They ain't done nothing since then.
The problem with Ajax is the same problem they had last season when they was Chivas. They got good players, but they can't get them to play. They can never field the team, and then that hurts them. Shout out to Porto for being the first team ever relegated from League One.
It's a real honor, I suppose. It was a pleasure knowing you.
Is that the case?
I mean, hasn't Ajax also clinched relegation?
Think about it. They're the first team in
Ajax have also secured relegation.
Is 8 points? Does anybody know if 8 points is the smallest number of points the team has scored throughout the season?
I have no idea. We don't have Dorsey, so we don't know.
I would say so. I can't imagine a team taking 23 losses and getting 2 wins and 2 draws.
It's pretty good.
I've played with Porto a few times. A good buddy of mine started his PCN career over there. But
all right, can we at least give him a shout out? Can we give them
I think we give them a strong
2 wins and 2 draws and not quitting.
Yeah.
Season.
The only point
all the merit.
The only point is they do not have a play style. It's just chug the ball up in the air and hope for the best. That's all it is.
Hey guys,
the lowest point total of their season was Liverpool back in season 6 when they only had 18 games in League One, and they put up a whopping 3 points.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they had a new manager every game day. Good old times.
I feel like loyalty is the most important thing.
Loyalty.
I think Monaco has had the most amount of managerial changes this season.
You ever had the same 3 people?
You ever had your manager just leave? Anybody?
Raider Reyes. I would love to talk about that last season.
It's bullshit. Do not ever leave your team.
The GOAT?
Yeah, the GOAT.
Ever.
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's still leading. He is leading the league in passing points as a striker. I do not know how that happens, but
at will.
Unless that's changed recently, but
I mean, if he touches the ball like 4 times a game, you should be fine.
He is second in passing points.
Don't know how that happens as a striker.
Behind AC Milan center back, and then Sanders and Minnesota United.
All right, guys, I'm going to switch a tone. So, beside what we're looking at, if you're looking at Super League, Super League, you're looking at League One.
Okay.
There's only a couple matches that really matter. We got we got Brazil. Brazil. We got Minnesota.
Brazil. He said Brazil.
I said shut the fuck up. I corrected it. Jesus Christ. Put yourself in a hole. We got Spurs. All right. And we got Minnesota. Both which equally across the board until we start getting a goal differential and head v head. But somebody has an easier schedule for the next 2 games. And they're the last 2 games. Anybody know who has the easier of the last two games?
Hi.
What would that be?
Does it really matter though? Because chances are one of those two teams are going to get defaults, so the other team just has to score goals, and then boom, they win the league.
Right. So explain that to me so that the audience understands what you're saying.
There's a 90% chance that Minnesota United is going to get two defaults tomorrow. So all Spurs cough vape has to do is score 3 goals each game, and they'll win the league.
Hi.
Right. And the only game that actually has any kind of impact would be on the other side. Right? We have 1 out of 4 games.
So what this podcast is basically just telling the people we play against to fucking try and ruin our season.
Yeah, because that's what people want to hear.
This is not going to be out by tomorrow.
We're not editing it.
It doesn't matter. Who cares? We'll say it afterwards, and we'll look like we're Nostradamus.
Tomorrow. We ain't editing it.
Well, it doesn't matter. Me and Hussein is editing it. We'll have it out by tomorrow.
There's no editing to do.
Exactly. So it'll be out by tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be out tonight.
I think Dorsey just needs to listen to it before he gives his drunk approval. I think that's what we're waiting for.
No, we just need to format the logo. We just need to put the logo on it, and it's good.
Yeah, this is not a censorship shit.
Talking realistically here, so 1 and 2 is already decided. The playoffs is looking like Atletico and Milan are confirmed. Yes. Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Dortmund and Galatasaray are there. So
Dortmund and
can you say that team name again?
Yeah,
no, I can't.
Galatasaray. That's how I say it. Is that right?
I can't. Yeah, my tongue doesn't work.
Galatasaray.
Well, Barcelona's confirmed too.
So it's a 3-team race for the 6th seed.
Yeah, the 6th seed. If Real Madrid wins out tomorrow night, they don't have nothing to worry about. But if they drop one, they put themselves in that whole goal differential. So I'm curious. Even though both those teams are playing 2 shit teams, is there going to be a hiccup?
The shade being thrown.
Well, no, they're shit teams. If you're at the bottom, you're a shit team. Whoa! What? I'm sorry. Am I talking
Napoli
in front of a
is shit team, but they're not bottom.
Am I talking in front of a congregation? I thought I was just talking in front of boys. Yeah, you're a shit team.
Did you just assume my gender?
I don't give about your gender. The bottom line remains. Either one of those 2 teams don't come through, it's on them. The only one that has their future in their hands is Real.
Well, look, I will say this. Real Madrid has a chance to to choke this, because King Snow likes his golden boots in D1 because it's always good for it nowadays. So he's going to want the ball, and he's going to want to shoot.
And who are they playing? Do you know by chance?
I can tell you real quick.
Okay, man.
They play.
Who are they fucking playing?
They play Monaco and PSG.
Monaco
and PSV.
Wow. So not walkovers. They got some decent games.
Well, I know for a fact PSV won't put up 11 players. So it just depends on how their NE does in defense. Monaco, sort of the same thing.
Okay. But that's what it's coming down to tomorrow night. These are the matches we're looking at. How does Real do? You know what I'm saying? How does Minnesota do? How do Spurs do? You know, what's going to shape this up? How does Dortmund do? There's only a couple teams that can shake anything up in terms of
with Real Madrid, though. It's sort of a hit or a miss at the moment, because they beat Porto 9-2, and then they lost to Ajax 2-1, and those are the bottom 2 teams. So it sort of is a hit or a miss at this point. You know, I really do hope they can make it through. Dortmund's done good, but
okay. So maybe on a different subject. Hey, Brazilian. You've been playing in League One at the top with the Spurs, right?
Yes.
With the Spurs.
All right. Jeeps and playing with me in Napoli.
Come on, you
at the
Gunners.
fucking pit.
San Antonio.
Napoli for life, baby.
Napoli for life.
Tim Duncan.
That's what I'm talking about. Rio, where you at now, bud?
For the 5th time tonight, AJ, River Plate.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about him. Vital is already in that 3rd spot in Division 1, so he's good to go. And Vape, where are you at?
AJ,
What?
I swear to God, I'm going to kick you from this podcast.
You can't. This is my podcast. You can't kick me from my fucking
This
podcast.
is my Christian Minecraft server.
Shut. Fuck. Oh.
So just answer the question, Vape. Who are you playing for?
What? Right now?
What team do you play for? Yeah, in Division.
He plays for Santos.
Yeah.
In Division 1.
Santos.
He wants to
I'm
manage
a pure
Santos.
Santonian.
In Division 1.
Santos.
Actually, Vape, a
Division
supporter of Santos is a Sanchista, not a
in
Santonian.
Division 1. In Division 1. Am I right?
What are you right about exactly?
That he wants to take over a Division 1 team that is in the middle of the fucking pack.
No.
So
Not at all.
what is this with Super League players coming down to D1 trying to take over a team and just run away with it?
Well,
I hear a
what
lot
do
of
you-
it
I
going on.
Is there something wrong with competition?
No,
There's nothing wrong with competition. I'm just asking, what is this whole?
In our case, we saw the Spurs team go down, and Will, being the diehard Spurs fan that he is,
Will was given the team whether they stayed up or not. So that's the only reason why.
I'll say this. I'll say for some people it could be easier competition, but for others it's as simple as you see a big club that doesn't deserve to be in the lower divisions, and they want to bring it back to the highest division. If you look at teams like Tottenham, Atletico, AC Milan, Barca, Real Madrid, Dortmund, they don't deserve to be in the 2nd division. They deserve to be in the highest division.
True.
Meanwhile, River Plate's in 1st fucking place in the Super League.
Yeah, and you got teams like Liverpool and Chelsea about to get relegated to the 2nd division.
So what do we do?
We're still not going to talk about the fact that Napoli's in 9th place in the 2nd division.
You can talk about all you want. You're not going to like the answers.
Anyway,
Yeah,
speaking,
exactly.
moving on. So, if Dortmund, I feel what's going to happen is that Dortmund's going to reel out, Real Madrid is going to slip, and they're going to take that 6th spot. So the playoffs will be Atletico versus Dortmund, and then AC versus Barca.
I'm defaulting the next 2 just for the hell of it.
Just for shite. Shite and giggles.
Like, I like my odds.
So if that's how the table's working, Atletico versus Dortmund will be a fun game to watch.
It is.
AC Milan and Barca could go either way. Barcelona gave Ajax a run for their money last year in the playoffs. So,
hey boys,
I still would give it to Milan.
How do y'all feel setting up next year? It's a pretty quick turnaround this season. Y'all okay with that?
It's a really quick turnaround.
Yeah, it's real quick.
I mean, with the nightly coming in, and there's a couple of different things happening, I guess. Question is, how many people want to stick around or just play one or the other league at this point? Because there's going to be few players who either give up one for the other. I know a couple of people are quitting EGN to come play the night league over here altogether.
Okay.
Whoa, you can't say that.
No, you can say that. Fuck that. It's uncut.
No, I'm gonna hear it from Jimmy.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
Fuck Jimmy.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear it from the guy that had to step down.
Dang.
Either way, though, with us, you think we got a good league going forward, boys? Feels healthy or no?
I mean, I keep hearing we're getting like double-digit people signing up on game days, or at least had been. Mm-hmm. So the league's growing at a pretty healthy rate, I'd say. I think that League 2 expansion ended up being a a good idea, even though it's still in its nurturing phase.
Right.
We definitely need the teams if we have this many people.
Yep.
Speaking of League 2, Olympiacos have won the league.
The Invincibles.
They won the league like 3 weeks ago, but they officially won the league. 25 wins, 2 draws, no losses, 71 goals for, 14 goals against.
That just doesn't seem right.
57 goals difference, 77 points.
I just like to point out that the goal difference was higher than any team's like goals for.
That is true. The team that finished in second place, who everybody and their mama picked to get first place, Lille, 20 wins, 3 draws, 4 losses, 56 goals for, 28 against, 28 goal difference. And then the playoffs is going to be Fenerbahce versus to see who gets promoted.
I think Fenerbahce's taking it. That's my call.
I think Fenerbahce is taking it, and I hope Genk disappears forever, so I'd never have to do that team of the week ever again.
Sounds about right. What else you got, boys?
The turnaround of the season for me will have to be Red Bulls. I remember at the beginning of the season, they had a couple of bad managers, and they was dead last. One guy took over, their current manager, and they made it all the way to 5th place.
That's one thing that kind of scares me as far as the league expansion goes. It's the amount of people who don't come back because they work under a shitty manager.
Yep, that is truthful.
I think that is the biggest killer, and it just pushes too many people away at this point in time. And with the amount of people just doing managerial changes overnight, it kind of takes its toll, because I'm looking around and I look at the forums and I see people having 2 or 3 threads just changing managers in a single season of 30 games, and it's just mind-boggling for me. I played under a bad manager, right? And I started off under Icon Zlatan, and then I went on loaning under Ray Reyes.
R.I.P.
So it's just literally under. I'll tell you something about Ray Reyes. Never said it before publicly. I'll say it now. I've never had to have counseling sessions with a 30-year-old man on a daily basis like I had to have with him when I just joined in. I hadn't even played a single match.
What did he say?
Oh, he had issues. One day, I think we played Porto, I think, last year. Lost 2-0, and then he sent me a message on Xbox, and he said, we're defaulting the next one. I was like, what are you on about? He's like, we're just gonna default the next one because we're not scoring, we're just conceding, and we're not doing anything right. I'm off for the night. I'm done. And I was like, what the fuck? And we were about to play Zenit next, and we went on to win that match 4-2. So it's just, once you take away that bad blood, people actually show up. But there's too much bad blood going on at the moment. Well, not at the moment, but it's been going on for such a long time. And until you work under a good manager, and I know everyone wants to play. I wanted to play. I started off at Man City wanting to play. I wasn't going to start ahead of Zlatan or Eric. So I would literally sit there and I would watch them play, and I would sit in a party.
You're not giving yourself credit over Zlatan.
But I mean, whatever the case is, I would sit there and watch the whole team play, and I would learn from it. And I don't think enough people try to do that. Just sit there, learn from someone who knows what they're doing. And
so, could I chime in on quick for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
What that sounds like to me is the manager selection process needs to be more stringent, and you need to put a bottom line. If you don't have at least 2 or 3 seasons.
Stringent's a big word for some of these people.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, I'm an educated man.
Aforementioned.
For instance,
I'm just saying. Okay, if you want to be a manager of a team, whether it be Super League, whether it be League 1 or League 2, if you want to manage a team, you need to have experience within 1, 2, 3 seasons of experience in PCN. so that that doesn't happen. Because the fact of the matter is, if you have bad management like that, it's going to turn people off, and they're going to be like, "Oh, this is
shade."
They're gonna say this is lame. They're gonna walk away from it, and they're gonna say, and anyone they talk to on Xbox Live playing in late night, drop-in matches or whatnot, they're gonna say, "Oh, PC. I played in a PCN team. That shit's fucking bogus. It's lame. It's a piece of shit." And that's looks bad on the league. And so I think that all comes in your selection process of, if you want to be a manager, okay, well, all right, I don't care if you've been in Super League, if you've been League One, or whatever, wherever you've been or whatever you've done, you've got to put in your paces. You have to play. You have to show that you're willing to put in the time in order to be that manager. So if you got a manager in League One, League Two, Super League, it doesn't matter what.
But I mean, if we're going to talk about that, we also have to mention that there are veteran managers who are still shit. For example, AJ.
AJ.
For so many years and still finishing ninth in league.
All right. So I've played I've played 2 seasons in PCN, and both of them have been under AJ. And so no one can speak more than me about how shit of a manager he is.
That's right.
I say that jokingly because I love AJ like a brother, and I say that because you have to love a brother. You know what I mean? We've all been there. We've got brothers,
Dude,
but
you're not helping.
I'm adopted.
In all seriousness, though,
I'm good.
But you're right, though. I mean, you've got to have a certain amount of loyalty to your manager, but that manager also has a certain amount of loyalty to the team. Smoke break.
Speaking of loyalty to the team, okay, Jeepers, I know you play with AJ, but can you not take a page out of his book and just pull up the dictionary and pick a big word and use it? Because people in PCN don't know what these words be meaning.
I'd like to extrapolate on that point.
I'm not going to apologize for being educated and for being older than 14.
Right. It's very simple.
Whoa.
A traitor is a traitor is a traitor. All right. It's that simple.
Moving on. So
moving on because it's uncomfortable.
The golden boot for League 2 goes to Olympiacos striker, shooter, 24 goals. That's all we got here.
Love you, Jeep.
I love you too, brother.
Motherfuckers, I swear to God.
These athlete guys are taking over the world.
They don't like us, man.
God, don't turn into Santos. Fun fact, Vape, if you're still here. Are you still here, Vape?
I might be.
Okay, check this out. So the Golden Glove in League 2 goes to Mr. Mace, who left League 2 during the transfer window. And he still ended up with the Golden Glove.
That's tough.
And he also had 20...
The effects of a marriage lasted a long time.
He also had 28 possessions won, but we're not going to talk about that. Whoever does the stats in League 2.
Did he not join Lazio?
Casbon.
Is that it?
He was on Genk along with his wife, but then the manager, we're not going to say any names, was doing them wrong, so they transferred to Lazio.
Rest in peace.
I'd like to give a shout out to Season 8
Awkward
Leon.
silence.
Yeah, no, why are we being quiet? I have a lot of talking points we can get to.
Lego, did you just say shout out to Season 8 Leon?
I did. I did shout out Season 8 Leon.
Can you, matter of fact, Lego,
So
if you
before
got...
or after people snaked?
Both, actually. The transitional period while people were snaking, like that kind of like awkward phase where people were leaving the team and we didn't really
Right
have
when
a
I
team.
left for vacation, right?
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, that was my favorite part.
Yeah.
It was right when I went to Young Boys, right?
Yeah, that part. How many other people you want to name drop leaving?
I don't know. This podcast seems to be about over. Anybody want
Hold
to
on,
end with,
it's now
something?
time for my interview.
Your
Rizzo,
interview.
grab the
Who's
question.
interviewing
Lego,
you?
Lego, this is you don't play PCN no more, so this has nothing to do with you. But you was a part of some of these, so I just decided to look this up. So in season 6, Leon finished 5th.
Yeah.
Season 7, season 8, you guys finished 11th, and now you're on par to finish around 11th to 9th this season. So the average is really.
Alright, so I joined PCN. It was, I think, season 7. I joined start of season. I joined Leon halfway. They got 7th, which is like respectable. They ended the season, we won 5 games in a row. So everyone was like, "Man, Leon's looking pretty nice. Like these guys are like going off." And we had like a new team. Since season 8, everyone thought we were gonna be good. And then the league got a bit busy. So like as we were talking earlier about like managers like not being able to like show up, like league like life kind of happened. Like he was really busy, so we couldn't really be on that much. And then we signed a bunch of people who didn't really like. We had a lot of good players, but I don't think we all played well together. And then also we had like too many players who wanted to play every day, so there's some drama going on there. I can't really speak for this season, but like I think moving forward, I have faith that League will be. He won't ever get relegated, but I don't think he's ever gonna like have a title-winning team. I think they're just gonna a little bit of shade.
Speaking from a personal experience, I think League's problem is that he's good on recruiting, but the players he recruits are not ideal.
I think he usually gets like 2, 3, maybe 4 players a season who are really good. Problem is like the roster is never filled out like top to bottom with a lot of good players.
And League is well known for messaging whoever gets promoted from D1. Because on Leverkusen last year, at the end of the season, he messaged literally everybody on my roster asking for them to sign with him. So
I mean, Leon develops talent. What can I say? A lot of good players came from and played for Leon.
None of them are still there.
I mean, Phil came back.
Yeah, that's not working out too well for him.
But yeah. I don't know. All respect to Leak though. Great guy, good manager. People should play for him.
I think having good players just isn't going to cut it. I guess Juventus,
Leak,
prime example.
Leak is definitely. If we was to do like underrated. Oh God! If we was to do like underrated manager, Leak would definitely be up there.
King Snow.
King Snow. If you want to get on PC and Real Madrid, if you just join PC and are watching the podcast, all you gotta do is tell King Snow you know how to pass with a wide ball to him. He'll sign you. I promise.
Shade?
All the shades. I just want to point out his little like Jamaican ragtag team that he's got. Like they've all been chipping in. Like they've been earning team of the weeks. Their Cam, I can't remember his name, but their Cam has been like lights out this last week.
Oh, the thing.
Can I just come out and say this that speaking as a goalkeeper, that King Snow is a piece of shit. He's worthless. All he scores are fucking poacher goals. He sits on the 6-yard box and waits for a pass.
Box, my guy.
He's never impressed me.
Wait, time out real quick. Brazilian. I know the season in the Super League isn't over yet, but I literally skipped over this. PSG definition of average from last season. Throwback, current day right now, they sit at 10 wins, 7 draws, 13 losses. 40 goals for, 40 goals against.
Oh man, dude, that saying is just stuck with them since they got that title. It's just like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to ever want to go for.
PSG is the AS Monaco of PCN. They develop really good talent, but then they just get rid of them or they leave.
Or Southampton, if another example.
PSG, I think PSG and Lyon and PCN are like similar teams. Like what happens to them?
they're basically the feeder clubs of PCN. They develop good talent, but the talent doesn't stay.
Yeah.
I mean, as a player, how long would you want to stick around a club that isn't really doing much, even improving? Is a big question, right? Because I signed Kanga at the beginning of the season, and I think a couple of games in, he wanted to go to Minnesota, and I really couldn't hold it against him to leave because at that point in time we weren't doing much as far as even improving goes. So people leaving,
You see, that makes sense though. But for PSG's case, it doesn't make no sense because season 7 they finished 3rd in the Super League, and then they just started losing players, and then that's when the downfall started happening.
It kind of dampens the process of signing players too, because now people know that this is what the team's doing, and unless they see a fresh face, it's kind of hard to trust the same person making the change again and again. That's just my perspective.
I mean, it's like Lyon season 7. Like they looked good at the end of the season, so they got like a lot of good players to join. But like the next season, they like didn't have that same reputation, so then you don't get like the really good players join your team, and then it's hard to climb back up to the top. But I think usually at the top you see like the same few teams, like the Juventus, the Manchester Uniteds, and like recently River Plate, and then you also see like newer teams that like kind of rise up with like a bunch of players join onto them. But as soon as you have 1 or 2 down seasons, like it's really hard to get back up.
Well, the thing, is with that. I was just gonna say the thing is with what Lego just said is that when you have like what you said about teams rising up, Leverkusen is sitting in 4th place, which besides me managing them, they're basically the exact same team from last season. But the thing is that teams like that rise up so quickly, all it takes is 1 or 2 pieces leaving, and then it's just the downfall after that. So it's just about maintaining that core that they have, which is really hard to do in this league.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Like, that it just takes 1 or 2 like marquee players to leave for it to all fall back down again. Just to rearticulate your point.
Yeah, I've been waiting for.
Winning fixes everything. Yeah.
It does, but one thing as a manager, I'll tell other younger managers or newer managers rather, is I feel like when you have players available and you don't rotate enough, and then you end up losing 1 or 2 key players, and then all of a sudden you're scrambling to put someone in a position that they've never played before, or they don't have enough experience playing with the team, it really messes with you. It really does. So I'm a hardcore rotation person. You won't see the same lineup twice in a week from me. But that's just trying to make sure that if one person decides, hey, I've found a better team, then I'm not leaving myself shorthanded and having to sign players in order to protect my position.
Yeah,
any more closing thoughts?
I was just gonna say, like, you said like you like to rotate players. Interesting about that, like Leon last season, I think one of the biggest problems was like they couldn't find like a good rotation of players, or they're rotating all the wrong players out. Yeah, over rotation. So it's trying to balance.
Yeah. But see, I have 15 core players that potentially could be starting players, right? So it's 4 people getting rotated, and 2 of them aren't available on a single game day. So it kind of makes it easier, right? So if you don't play Wednesday, you play it Sunday, sort of a thing. But with a couple of players that have actually left during the season, it really hasn't hurt me as much. And that's just my 2 cents.
I hear that. Yeah, for sure.
The last thing I'll say is that even though they're sitting in 15th place, Bayern Munich still has the lowest goals scored with 24.
They had a beast defense, man. I still can't believe they put up as much as they did, but they had a really nice defense. at the beginning of the season. Meat, Jesus, Piero. Had a couple of good guys. Raptor, not so much, but the rest of the three were pretty much up there.
Shout out to Indominus Raptor.
Best game of taking PCN.
It's been stupid, yeah.
It's the man that gave me my start in PCN.
So is anybody playing after this?
I'm about to hop on. Yeah.
I'll hop on.
Somebody send me an invite. Play some.
I'm playing
pro
Minecraft
clubs.
right now.
Wait,
I think with that, it's about time to wrap up for tonight.
Yeah, pretty much, guys. Yeah, it was good.
I'm
Uncut.
but I'm going to smoke a bowl.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. Tune in next week. Next week will be the league wrap-up, correct?
Nope. Super League will still be going on, sir.
Maybe League 1 wrap-up, though.
I think League 1
wrap-up.
playoffs.
League 1 wrap-up is what I meant to say before playoffs.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
All right, boys.